Hello, my name's Sarah and I'd like to cook for you today, show you how to cook a nutritious and cheap carrot and coriander soup. I'm not going to do the whole thing, I'm just going to show you sort of the main method because otherwise the video will be too long. But first things we need to do is, I've already prepared the vegetables that are going to go into it. So the things you're going to need for this, if you want to make a list, you're going to need to have some onion, a large onion, a few stalks of celery chopped. This is all chopped. You're going to need a couple of sort of medium-sized potatoes. They're chopped as well, peeled and chopped, and they're really to go in to help as a bit of a thickener. You don't have to put potato in, but I like quite a thick soup. And then I bought a kilo of carrots from the local supermarket. You see there's just a few left in there. They're really cheap and really easy to get hold of. So during this time when we're in sort of a lockdown, if you can get to the supermarket and just buy those ingredients, the onion, the celery are the key things for the base of any soup, and then on top of that you can put whatever vegetables in. So in this case I'm going to do a carrot, and I've got some fresh coriander over there. So the first thing, the most important thing when making a soup is to try and get flavour into it, and the way to do that is to sweat your vegetables. So in terms of ingredients, onion, celery, carrot, potato. I've got the coriander that goes in at the end, and then I'm going to need to do some spicing and to give it a bit more flavour. Now I like to make a little bit of a spice soup, so I use garam masala, which isn't hot or spicy, it just gives it those lovely warm sort of curry-like flavour, just a bit of a back note. I've also got bay leaves, which I use just one while I'm simmering it, but I take it out at the end. I've got some vegetable stock. I need about 1 litre of that. You can make it a bit more if you want, but a litre which is dissolved in hot water. I've got some olive oil. I've got some butter, a little tiny bit of butter, and then I've got some garlic. So what we want to do is sweat off the vegetables. So first of all, I'm going to switch my gas on. There we go. Get the pan. You want a nice big pan, because obviously you're going to make quite a lot. And the good thing about this is you make a big batch of it, you can freeze it. You can have some for your lunch. What you don't eat, you can freeze. I'm just going to put some oil in the bottom of that pan, probably about just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. So I'll start off with the oil, and then I'm going to put just a knob of butter in as well, just a little small one. I've only got a little bit there. But you want to use butter and oil together. Don't put butter in on its own because it will burn. So if you're ever going to use butter in something like this, put it in with the oil at the same time. So that's starting to get nice and hot. I've got a wooden spoon here for stirring. And what we're going to do, we're going to put the onion and the carrot in together like this. Okay. Onion and the celery go in there. And I'm going to put, at the same time, just give that a bit of a stir around. It's on quite a high heat at the moment, but we'll turn it down. And that's just to coat everything over. Okay. And you probably cook those for a couple of minutes just so they start to glisten and the onion goes a little bit translucent, so sort of see-through. I'm obviously going to do it a little bit quicker today, but you can take your time with this. And I'm also going to now put in the potato, and I've cut everything the same size. I don't know if you can see, the smaller you cut it, the quicker it will cook. So if you've got loads of time and you don't like chopping, you can just, make it bigger, because we're going to puree it at the end anyway. And see, look, it's all going in now, like that. There's lots of different methods for making soup. This is my favourite. And you can see I've got in here now, and I'm just turning it all around, trying to coat everything, just to get a good coating of the oil and butter on there. If it looks a bit dry, add a little bit more oil or butter. Okay, and that's looking pretty good. And at this point I'm also going to put in, I've got a couple of cloves of garlic. You don't have to put garlic in, again, it's just another flavour. So that's all going in. It's starting to smell pretty nice. Smell of fried onions is always great. So that's all your vegetables in now. And again, I mean, if you're making a soup with sort of leafy greens or things that cook really quickly, these are all hard vegetables, then you probably leave them out until near the end. Otherwise they won't be recognisable, because what we're going to do with this in a bit is put some stock in it and then simmer it. But the first thing to do is, and I'm going to put now, I'm actually going to put the spices in now just to let them cook off a bit. But you can, I'm just going to put in, it's almost a kilo of carrots there. I'm going to put 3 teaspoons of garam masala. But again, if you don't feel like there's enough at the end when you taste it, then you can add some more at the end and just cook it off a little bit in the liquid. So that's on quite high heat now, and I'm now going to turn that down. So it's going to be more of a simmer. And this bit is the most important thing in cooking soup, is what we call sweat the vegetables. And what that means is you want a pan that's got a lid on it. So everything's coated now. It shouldn't burn. I'm just going to put the lid on, and I'm just going to let that slowly sort of sit for probably about 5 or 6, 7 minutes. You can leave it up to 10 minutes, and it just allows them to sweat, let all the goodness the flavours start to come out, okay? So that's the basis of your soup mix. And then what will happen is, once that is all sweated off, I'm going to put a litre of stock in. And as I say, I've got this stock cube, stock powder. You put 2 teaspoons per half, this is per half a litre. I've only got a half litre jug. So I'll put that in, I'll make another jug, so put a litre of the stock in. And then at that point I'll pop in a bay leaf. I might put a little bit of salt and pepper in at that stage. Sometimes people like to wait till the end to season it. You can do that, particularly if you're trying to watch your salt intake. And then you simmer it. Once you've got the liquid in there, you simmer it for, I'd say, I usually leave it for about half an hour. And then once it's simmered and just check that the vegetables are cooked through and they're soft, really soft, because what we want to do is puree it. Now obviously you don't have to puree it. If you like your soup chunky, then you can leave it as it is, but it looks a bit weird, especially for carrot and coriander soup. You expect it to be this lovely orange colour. So you'd cook it 20 minutes, 30 minutes with the liquid in it, and then at the end you take it off, taste it at that point, and then you would put the salt and pepper in. If it's not spicy enough for you, put some more garam masala in, and make sure if you're putting the spice in, just to cook it, simmer it for a few minutes longer so that the spice has a chance to cook. Otherwise it'll be a bit raw. And then once you've done all that, all you do is get some coriander. I've got one of these that's growing, it's looking a bit wilted now, but you can buy the ones in the packet, and you literally just chop it up, wash it, chop it up, put it in there. You can rip it up if you like, and then you blitz it with one of these. This is mine. It's a proper like mixer, and you'll zhuzh it up, make a nice puree. Once you've got all the lumps out, and that's pretty much. Oh, take the bay leaf out before you puree it. And that's pretty much the soup done. Now, it's a really great activity that you can do either on your own if you're bored. I like to have some music on when I'm playing, when I'm cooking. You can do it with your children, get them to help you prepare, get them to do the stirring, or with a partner. And the good thing about making a big batch like this will feed at least a family of 4. So if you live on your own, you can freeze it. You can put it into portions. I've got these resealable soup bags, which are brilliant. Make sure it's cool before you put it in the freezer and into the bags. And then it means that whenever I'm in a hurry, I can just get one out of the freezer and it's ready to go. But not only that, the cost of these ingredients is very low, so it's super cheap, and you can go and use whatever vegetables are available at the supermarket. There's loads of links. I'll put some links on this video for some decent recipes for other soups, but this one's one of my favourites because it's so quick and easy. And the other thing to think about is obviously the health benefits. Carrots are really cheap and really, really good for you. So there's lots of health benefits, like they can help regulate your blood cholesterol. So for people that consume carrots for 3 weeks, if you consume 2 or 3 carrots every week for 3 weeks, you would see a drop. They've seen drops of up to 11% in your cholesterol. So that's the first thing. Really good for your eye health. Really good for helping manage your blood sugar levels. It regulates the amount of insulin and glucose being used by the body, so that's good for blood sugar regulation. Stops you dipping. It's immunity boosting again, so it's antiseptic, antibacterial. There's lots of vitamin C in there, which helps create your white blood cells, which fight off all the infections. It's really good for digestion because of the dietary fibre, so it protects your colon and your stomach. It helps your eye health, great eye health, particularly if you're getting a bit older like I am. But it helps reduce what we call macular degeneration because what it's got inside, because what it contains. And it can improve your oral health because it's high in antioxidants, and it can actually reduce the risk of a stroke. So if you eat 1 carrot a day, the chance of getting a stroke is reduced by 68% in studies. So it really is what they call a superfood, and a cheap one at that. So happy cooking. I think these have been sweated now for a bit, and actually, yeah, they're looking nice, looking a bit steamy, and I'm going to put my stock in now and then let it simmer for half an hour. So do feel free to have a look at the recipes on that I've posted, the links, and I'll write out all the recipe on there as well. So happy cooking.